everybody, I'm Katie Pavlich from townhall.com, and today we are at Murphy's, a grand Irish pub, and I am with the former White House Press Secretary, Sean Spicer. Thank you so much for taking the time. We are here to talk about his new book, The Briefing, Politics, the Press, and the President. It comes out soon. We're excited for your launch. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming to Murphy's. Not only a great Irish bar, but a great Patriots bar.
Most importantly, a great Patriots bar. We are both Irish, so we thought this would be the perfect venue to talk about Sean's new book. Well, speaking of the briefing room, you made a substantial effort, and you talk extensively about this in the book, to open up the press room to outside media, to people who weren't in Washington, to outside of the Beltway. You tried to get the briefings to be moved into a different arena so there could be more reporters able to come in. Because the first year of the briefings really was so packed full. It was a fire hazard. At one point, the Secret Service was upset that there were so many people in the Brady briefing room. Talk about how media has changed since you started in politics in the 90s and why you thought it was a good idea to acknowledge the reality, as you say, that there is more now than just the major networks and mainstream media.
Well, I think that there's a pack mentality among the elite media. They like to decide what is important, what questions need to get asked. And so I made a bunch of significant changes, both in terms of how the briefing room operated, but also, as you know, how to include more people. So one is I wanted to include more local media. We brought in Skype and allowed local, because I think that there's a disconnect between the issues that are important to the Washington elite media and what's happening back there. Most of those reporters were affiliate network reporters or mainstream newspapers. Number two, I wanted to diversify the number of people that got to ask questions, whether it was, American Urban Radio, Univision and Telemundo, Spanish language newspapers, Christian newspapers and outlets like EWTN, the Catholic Network, or CBN, Newsmax, Town Hall, all of these places that had kind of been looked over in the past. I wanted to bring them in. I wanted more voices to be able to express the ideas that weren't getting questions asked in the briefing room of issues that were of concern to people. So, in one case, I called on a reporter about land issues out in the West. Those are extremely important to people out there. They care about how much property the federal government maintains, uses, what it's used for, and how it's used. But I also think, and in the case of conservative media, they had been shut out in the past, largely. And I wanted a lot of those voices heard so that issues of concern that weren't just Washington media elites got heard, and people could say, I see, now I understand I have this issue. And it was, whether it was, somebody from Town Hall, Newsmax, or different radio shows, they had an opportunity to ask a question that their listeners, viewers, cared about.
Well, on that note, I think we will take our Irish beverages and cheer. Thank you, Sean Spicer, for taking the time, and good luck with the book. Again, it is The Briefing by Sean Spicer, out on what day?
July 24th.
And where can people buy it?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Local bookstores. It's obviously available for pre-order wherever books are sold.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Irish luck.